last week I talked about overcoming fears and limitations, and today it's time to tackle some of them, some tricky decisions, let's call them, that can dramatically change the way we act, the way we think, the way we feel. And they have to do with focus, meaning, and the actions. And why this is important? Because there is always a connection between our mind and our heart. We cannot go only with our mind or only with our heart. We need both of them. And the focus and meaning and action has to do with this beautiful balance that we need. I remember when I was a little child, we experience life and give meaning to things unconsciously, because of course, as a child, we don't really know. As children, we don't really know too much, and we explore the world that it's given to us from our parents, from different perspectives, let's say. I remember when I was a child, because of unsolved things, let's call them in this way, uh, wounds, traumas that, in this case, my parents had. And they were not so privileged as our generations, where we have so much access to information and knowledge to fix things much easier. I grew up as a child who was always seeking for my parents' approval, my parents' love, my parents' acceptance. I hope will make us more responsible with each other, and especially with children. And of course, the parents are not perfect, but in those imperfections, from those imperfections, we'll learn so much. So it happened that a trigger, which in this case is alcohol. My father does not drink, but it happened that as a child, 4 or 5 years old, I was surrounded in my family by people who used to drink quite a lot. Like in this case, my grandfather, and he taught me how to drink. And I think for a child, I used to drink quite a lot. And my father, of course, that happened after a summer spent with my grandparents. Okay, so I came back home. My father didn't like what I learned, my new skill, and of course, from there, like pretty much everything changed. And unknowingly, I triggered my father trauma, which was alcohol. I became a black sheep. So then, being a black sheep, you are the one who break all plates. So and then everything you do it because you want to call for attention. You need to be loved, to be accepted, but you don't know how. And so my focus was always on this. And then, in trying to give a meaning to what happened back then, well, not myself, but my brain. That's our brain. It's a very powerful machine. Yeah, so it adapts to pretty much everything to survive. In that desire to be loved and accepted, you do lots of things. So I remember, for example, one story that I would like to share with you is when you feel unloved, unaccepted by those that initially you love so much, you end up in, I would say, you break all the rules. You don't respect too much authority, right? So if someone that you look up to says something to you, unconsciously there is that broken bond that you rebel all the time. So there is no connection. So it's, you take it all as rebellion. Yeah. So my father used to smoke, okay, and he used to say, don't smoke, it's not good. He came up with a list why wasn't beneficial. But of course, as a black sheep and a person who didn't follow the orders or the advice from a person that you love, but at the same time you feel rejected, you do the opposite. And I remember once I found myself and my brother lots of cigarettes on the streets, like butts, I think you call them, and we fill our house with dozens of them. Then we started smoking, the house full of smoke, and Unfortunately, soon after that, my mother came home, and then of course we got into trouble. What was the meaning? So, and then the actions, of course, as from this story I can see, and we can see that you have the focus on seeking love, wants to be accepted and loved. And the meaning that you give, that you're not enough, you feel rejected, and then you literally break all rules, or whatever the authority, in this case my father, tells you to do or not to do. When you're very young, you don't realize the correlation between, focus, meaning, and action. And then this literally impacted all my childhood, because I was in this mood of injustice, unfairness, and then you react and you interact in this way with the world. The focus we have, whatever we look at, consciously or unconsciously, that will influence the quality of our life, the way we interact with people, and the way we experience and feel, and then the way we experience the world. Um, Nowadays, I can say that I know all these things, and my focus is on the beautiful future that we all can create. We have the power to create an amazing future, having a clear focus, clear discipline, and especially if you have a mission, and if you know deep inside what gives you peace, joy, and happiness. And I would say that I love connections, and I love stories. In stories, I see power, I see knowledge, I see the beauty of human beings, and I love getting to know people, getting to know you guys. And like this week, I was on the street, right? And in my journey, I went to Trinity College and spoke to some amazing people, some young lads who were studying in the college. We had amazing conversation and amazing time. I will upload those videos very soon. And my focus was clear: to get to know beautiful stories and then to share them. And I also know the meaning. The meaning behind it is this: to create a more beautiful and inspiring world with what makes us humans, with our stories. And the actions of, I'm on the street, I do interviews, I talk to people, I enjoy the process, and I love it so much. But our minds bring us to all patterns. Like, I'll say, our mind plays tricks on us. Yeah, it happens that after the interviews, I felt I was not enough, I was doing something wrong. And the reason was, despite of the beauty of the process, my focus, the meaning that I'm giving to all this, the action that I'm taking, my expectations in my subconscious mind were not met. And that was, okay, I'm doing something great, I love it, but at the same time, these people said, okay, we're going to follow you, for example, but this thing didn't happen. And my mind started unconsciously creating meaning of not being enough, not doing things right. And you start with doubt, self-doubt, fear, and all these things. And then thanks to a friend of mine, we see things from a different perspective. And I realized that it all has to do with my past, and things that still must be overcome. And we shifted again the focus, and by the fact that we might know very well what we have to do, the old patterns, the old habits are still there. So always stay focused. Stay focused on a beautiful future, something beautiful, something big that even scares you, because things that scare us, but we want to achieve them, will inspire us, will give you power, determination to overcome all obstacles, and give a empowering, encouraging, a meaning that goes well with your mission, and your heart will tell you what steps to be taken. And finally, take action. We have only today. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is not certain. So if you want to do something, do it now and don't wait. And we learn from the process, and imperfections are great, because that that what makes us human, and where our current limitations are, fears and limitations. And by taking actions, we overcome those limitations and fears. And in the end, it's all a process of self-discovery, discovering of the world. And believe me, it's all this makes life, as a friend used to say in one of the interviews, and gives, it gives life more meaning, beauty. Once you have a mission, you follow your soul, you will feel that you truly live.